Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
The importance of having proper concentration while reciting Birchas Hamazon, and the importance of knowing the meaning of the words that one is reciting during benching. So one of the biblical commands that we fulfill so often, practically on a daily basis, is reciting the grace after meals, after eating bread. And as we get used to a mitzvah like benching, many of us are accustomed, due to habit, to speedily run through the words. And aside for the issue and perspective that this poses, as the meal we didn't rush through, but the blessing to God we rushed through, this also poses a serious halachic question as to whether one is even Yaitse Birchas Hamazon or not, as we will now explain. So we have a clear ruling in the Shulchanaruch, the Alter Rebbe Shulchanaruch 185 Halacha 1 and 62.2, based on the ruling of the Rishonim, Tosfos, Rabbeinu Yaina, and the Rosh and the Mordechai, the Rashba, the Ramban, the Torah, the Beis Yosef, that one who recites Birchas Hamazon and doesn't understand the language, doesn't understand what he's saying, does not fulfill his obligation. Now this ruling that we just recorded is under debate and dispute from several angles. Number one, there's a dispute if in truth the above invalidation of Birchas Hamazon when you don't understand what you are saying applies even if you are saying it or only if you are hearing it and being yaitze from somebody else. While this is a debate in the Paiskim, practically we rule like the former, that even if you're saying Birchas Hamazon and you're not hearing it from somebody else, if you don't understand the meaning of the words, you do not fulfill your obligation and you would have to repeat Birchas Hamazon. And we don't even rule that it's Safek Brachas Lahakil. As the vast majority of Paiskim, is only the final ruling, the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch rule that you're not Yaitse. However, another area and aspect of debate is regarding to what language this rule applies. Everyone is in agreement that if you said Birchas Hamazon in English or a different language other than Lashon HaKodesh, other than Hebrew, if you don't understand the words you were saying, you don't fulfill your obligation. However, if you say it in Lashon HaKodesh, we find a debate and dispute amongst the Paiskim and Rishonim, between Rashi and Tosfos and other Rishonim, and the Alter Rebbe records both opinions in 185 Halacha 1, and the final ruling is to be lenient, like the second opinion who rules that you fulfill your obligation when you recite Birchas Hamazon in Hebrew and Lashon HaKodesh, even if you don't understand the meaning of the words, although one should be stringent like the first opinion and thereby make time to learn and study and understand the meaning of the words that he is saying in Hebrew in Birchas Hamazon. As according to some Paiskim, he's not Yaitse if he doesn't understand. Based on all this introduction, we can now answer our original question regarding concentration and paying attention to the benching. As just as there are Paiskim who rule if you don't understand the words you're not Yaitse, so too they rule if you don't pay attention to the words. Even if you understand, if you were asked what's the meaning behind this word, you would answer, you know Hebrew very well. But if your mind is wandering while you're benching, according to many Paiskim and Rishonim, the first opinion that we mentioned, you do not fulfill your obligation. And you have to repeat Birchas Hamazon. As the entire idea of Birchas Hamazon is to bless God, and if you don't understand or don't pay attention to the words and you didn't do the blessing, you did a lip service. Now, although according to the second opinion, when is Yaitse, you don't have to understand if you say it in Lashon HaKodesh, and so if you said in Lashon HaKodesh and didn't pay attention, you're Yaitse. Practically, the Alter Rebbe concludes in 185 Halacha 2 and in Seder Birchas Hanan 9.3 that one must be very careful to pay attention to the words of Birchas Hamazon, even when he's saying it in Lashon HaKodesh. As if he doesn't, according to many Paiskim, he has not fulfilled his obligation, as we explained. However, b'di'evid, if you already benched and didn't pay attention, then the ruling is that one may be lenient, like the second opinion, as Safek Brachas Lahakil. Now this may sound very daunting. Birchas Hamazon is 4 long blessings. How can a person pay attention for so long? So while practice makes perfect, in truth, the Alter Rebbe explains that according to Halacha, there are specific areas that the concentration and understanding is absolutely required. Otherwise, it's possibly you're not Yaitse, while the other areas, b'di'evid, everyone agrees you're Yaitse even if you didn't concentrate. Which are the areas that require concentration? Otherwise, possibly you're not Yaitse even b'di'evid. This is the areas of the blessings themselves of Baruch Ata Hashem, whether in the beginning of the bracha or the end of the bracha. But everything in the middle, One fulfills his obligation according to everyone, even if he didn't understand the words and did not pay attention when he was reciting Birchas Hamazon. And this applies even to the words of Bris Torah and Birchas Haaretz of Malchus Beis David. So long as you concentrated and understood the beginning and end of the blessings, you're Yaitse. We find a number of Sgulas written regarding one who concentrates and pays attention to benching to Birchas Hamazon. It's recorded in a number of Rishonim, brought in the Berheitev, Ateres Keinim, and other Achronim, that there's one letter omitted from the alphabet within Birchas Hamazon, and that is the letter Pei, which represents Charan Af, or wrath, or anger. And the Rishonim, the Rekeach, the Tashbeitz, and others explain that the reason for this is because whoever recites Birchas Hamazon with concentration does not receive any wrath, and that likewise his food is found before him in plenty. It's a segula for Parnasa, and it's found to him with honor for his entire life. Accordingly, the Beheitiv, the Bach and Beheitiv record one is to recite Birchas Hamazon specifically within a siddur and not by heart, as this helps with the concentration. So to summarize, in order to fulfill the biblical mitzvah Birchas Hamazon, it is extremely important for one to understand the meaning of the words that he is reciting and to pay attention to them, to concentrate on them. This especially and mainly applies to the opening and closing bracha of each of the four blessings, as if one doesn't understand them or concentrate according to many poskim, what does not fulfill his biblical obligation. Likewise, concentrating Birchas Hamazon has the segula of Parnasa, that one has his Parnasa found to him in plenty and in a honorable method. And to accomplish this, it's suggested to say it within a siddur, although nonetheless, b'diavad, if one recited Birchas Hamazon without concentration or understanding, he fulfills his obligation even in such a case.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at www.shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.